Have you ever achieved a goal and still felt empty? Have you found yourself saying things like, I can't wait until I make more money so I can buy a big fancy house, then I'll feel like I've made it. Or, when I get the car of my dreams, I'll truly be happy. Then you reach those goals and you wonder why you aren't happier. What if I told you that focusing on the end goal shouldn't be your focus at all? Hi, I'm Mary Beth. Welcome to my channel if you're new here, or welcome back if we're already friends. In today's video, I'm going to talk more about how chasing happiness might be the very thing that keeps it out of reach. So let's start by talking about the theory called the happiness paradox. The idea that the more we chase happiness, the more it slips away from us. Sounds a little backwards, right? But it happens when we zero in so much on completing the goal at all costs that we miss the actual moments of joy happening along the way. As Gautama Buddha once said, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. Think about that for a minute. It's how we walk through life, the mindset we choose, the way we approach each day, and how we find happiness in even the smallest of moments. If you're telling yourself, I'll be happy when I get that promotion, or once I lose the weight, then I'll finally be happy and start living, you're pushing happiness off into the future. And sure, when you hit the goal, you will feel a rush of happiness. But it fades. It always does. And then you're back to looking for the next thing. That's the trap. That's the happiness paradox. The truth is, happiness isn't a final destination we arrive at and stay in forever. It's a feeling, an emotion that comes and goes, something we notice if we're paying attention. That's why I love the saying by Ralph Waldo Emerson and later Aerosmith, life is a journey, not a destination. It's such a simple reminder, but a really powerful one. Because when you stop chasing happiness like it's somewhere far off in the distance, you start finding it in the present, in everyday things. A laugh with a friend, a kind word from a stranger, a cold drink on a summer day, playing with your cat or dog, enjoying a delicious meal, spending time with loved ones. That's where the real happiness lives, in those moments. That's it. It's really that simple. Now, I also want to point out, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have goals for yourself, that you should just wander around aimlessly feeling moments of happiness. That isn't practical or possible even. Goals are important. But the journey to reach them doesn't have to feel like a race. Slow down. Notice the small, joyful moments along the way. At first, you might have to look a little harder to find them, but they're there, waiting to be appreciated. Starting a gratitude journal, meditation, and mindful hobbies are all good ways to slow down so you can enjoy the journey. These are the things I like talking about on my channel, so check out my other videos where I go into detail about those topics. When I was younger, I definitely fell into the trap of chasing happiness. I think most of us do. I thought I had to rush through school, get married, find a job, so I could buy a house and a car and go on vacations and on and on. Together, my husband and I eventually reached those goals. It took quite a few years of hard work to shape and build our lives. But looking back now, I realize that those early days of struggling are some of the happiest. Back when things were a little simpler, when we were just figuring things out together. We had to be more creative, and I remember that we still had a lot of fun together. The path to get where we are today is full of simple moments, good and bad. And the path into our future will be too. Now, though, I'm much more aware of the good moments, and I try not to take them for granted. I think I've gotten a little better at this as I've gotten older, but honestly, I still catch myself wishing and waiting for the warm days of spring and summer each year. Like, that's my favorite kind of weather. And when winter hits, with its cold and gray days, I tend to hit pause on my life. I find myself retreating and daydreaming about sunshine and warm days in the future instead of really leaning into the winter season. This past January, I decided that as a kind of New Year's resolution, I would make a goal to take a walk every single day for the entire year. I thought to myself, wouldn't that be an amazing accomplishment? I also thought, am I crazy to start such a thing in January, the worst month of the year for me weather-wise? It was especially cold a couple of those early days, snowing and the wind was blowing, and I really didn't feel like going outside. But I forced myself to go. I felt like I had to reach my goal. I took a picture of myself every day to show my progress. I couldn't miss a day and have a missing picture. After a while, I noticed that I had other motivations to go on my daily walk. The cold air on my face really woke me up and made me feel alive and present. It gave me time to think about things. Sometimes I would listen to a podcast. I actually started to look forward to my daily walks because it became less about reaching the goal and more about the experience of the walk itself. The point of the story is that I thought that walking every day for a year would be a cool thing to do, maybe a little impressive, something to brag about, something that would make me happy. But now I realize that completing this goal isn't about being impressive. It isn't what will make me happier. Taking the time out of my day to have 30 minutes to myself without distractions, forcing myself to be more present in the moment is what brings me happiness, even on cold winter days. Now I don't view it as a chore that has to be done, but something to look forward to. My mindset changed a bit, and I'm rewarded with moments of happiness. Now that it's almost summer, I'm enjoying the birds singing, the smell of honeysuckle, and a warm breeze through my hair. And when fall approaches, I'll enjoy leaves changing colors and crisp air. Even when it's back to winter, I'll feel alive with the cold air on my face, maybe a little winter sun, and time to think. That's my reward, those little joys. So take some time to look at the goals you've set, big ones, small ones, all of them. Maybe even write them down so you can see them more clearly. Now ask yourself, how can I build joy into the process? For example, let's say your goal is to buy a house, but right now you're renting an apartment. Instead of just viewing it as a waiting room until your real life starts, what if you made it feel more like a home? Add things that bring you joy. Maybe cozy lighting, some art you love, a few nice plants, and think about what's actually great about renting. You're not responsible for repairs. It gives you flexibility, and it can be a lot less stressful. Those are things to be grateful for now, not just once the goal of owning a house is reached. When we stop rushing toward the next thing and start noticing the good that already exists, the journey itself becomes more meaningful. Happiness isn't waiting for you at the finish line. It's happening along the way, if you slow down enough to see it. So take a minute and think about a goal you're working toward right now. Maybe it's something big, like buying a house, changing careers, or improving your health. Or maybe it's something smaller, like getting more organized or saving for a trip. Now ask yourself, how can I make this journey more enjoyable? What can I do today or this week that brings a little joy into the process? If you're journaling, here's a prompt you can try. What's something I'm working toward? And what's already good about the phase I'm in right now? Write down 3 things you're grateful for right where you are. not where you're headed. This is how we start to shift, not by chasing happiness, but by noticing it. I hope that this video has given you ideas to change your mindset. You have the power to make changes in your life. Comment below with something you're grateful for today. Thanks for being here. Subscribe so we can continue this journey together. I hope to see you next time.